Well, good morning, everyone. Hello, my tipsters. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Daily Tips with Monica. I hope everybody had a good Saturday night and a good Saturday night rest. I appreciate each and every one of you guys that has come on to the stream. Good morning, blogs and fiction. How you doing? Thank you for coming, sweetie. Um, I hope everyone had a good night rest. Um, I hope everyone had was prayed up. Um, let's make sure that we are thumbsing up the line. Make sure we are thumbsing up the line. Make sure that we are if you want to share it out if you want. I appreciate you for sharing it out. Um, we're gonna give it a few more minutes before we get into the tips. Are you Oh, I'm doing pretty good, blogs. I'm doing pretty good. I didn't get a lot of rest last night, but I thank God for just waking me up this morning. Um, like he says, even though I might have slept, I didn't sleep good, but I thank God for just waking me up this morning and starting me on a new day. Because like sometimes we can have restless nights, and we just have to just thank God. You know, thank God for just waking us up and just being on time. Good morning, Winston. How you doing? Thank you for sharing me out. You was feeling the same way, Blas. I tell you, man. Sometimes you just have those restless nights, and so you have to just. I know I'm gonna probably take a nap today, but I got to get it together today. Good morning, Winston. Once again, good morning, ASMR Dominique. Thank you guys for coming. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you guys so much for coming. Thank you. Like I always tell you guys, thank you so much for the support. Thank you so much for the love. I know I didn't put out my reminder. I just went to bed last night. I just went to bed and then put out my reminder. Sometimes sometimes you delayed, but you're not denied. That's all I can say. Um, so we're gonna give it another minute or two. I hope everybody did something fun yesterday um, and got some relaxation time. Um, we got what we're going to talk about today, guys, is how we're going to how to be an effective communicator. How can we be an effective communicator? How we communicate with people can sometimes how we communicate to each other. Um, we have to know how to communicate with each other, guys. We do. We have to know how to communicate with each other. Um, I hope anybody planning on going to church today. I'm gonna try my best to go today. It's still social distancing going on, but I may go and I may not. I know that I'm gonna have to get out and barbecue today because we're having barbecue rib tips and hot dogs and stuff like that. Um, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna thank you, blogs. I'm gonna go ahead and get into the devotion, guys. Um, it is called spontaneous love. Love suffers long and it is kind. Love suffers long and it is kind. Look, Dominique, honey, I got to get out there first. I got to get out there, and it's raining right now in Mississippi. So it is raining right now in Mississippi. So hopefully, when I get out there, it don't be raining. So what is this called? It's called spontaneous. The devotion is. Good morning, Anita. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for coming. Thank you so much for coming, Anita. Um, what we're going to talk about today, guys? The devotion today, guys, is spontaneous love. Love suffers long and is kind. 1 Corinthians 13:4. Love is not premeditated, it is spontaneous. That is, it bursts forth in extraordinary ways. There is nothing of precise certainty in Paul's description of love. We cannot predetermine our thoughts and actions by saying, now I will never think any evil thoughts, and I will believe everything that Jesus will have me to believe. No characteristics of love is spontaneity. We don't deliberately set the statements of Jesus before us as our own standard. But when his spirit is having his way with us, we live according to his standard without even realizing it. And when we look back, we are amazed at how unconcerned we have been over our emotion, which is the very evidence that real spontaneous love was there. The nature of everything involved in the life of God in us is only discerned when we have been through it and it is in our past. Good morning, Florida Williams. The fountain from which love flows are in God, not in us. It is absurd to think that the love of God is naturally in our hearts. As a result of our own nature, his love is there only because it has been poured out in our hearts by the Holy Spirit. And that is Romans 5:5. If we try to prove to God how much we love him, it is a sure sign that we really don't love him. The evidence of our love to him is the absolute spontaneity of our love, which flows naturally from his nature within us. And we look back, and when we look back, we will not be able to determine why we did certain things, but we can know that we did them according to the spontaneous nature of his love in us. The life of God exhibits itself in this spontaneous way before because the fountain of his love are in the Holy Spirit. So this is spontaneous love. This is what this is called. It says love is not premeditated. So you don't how can I put this? You just don't automatically say I'm gonna love I love God. You have to be about God's love. Welcome everyone that has came into the love live stream. Um, uh, I hope everyone has had a great night rest. So you don't automatically just love people. I'm gonna be honest. You don't automatically love people. Like you said, you don't automatically love God. To show God that you love Him, you have to work to be about work. You have to be about His business. You have to know that God. He showed His love. I feel like this. God showed his love when he gave his only begotten son. He brought him into the world. And then when Jesus died on the cross for our sins, that he gave himself as a living sacrifice. Good morning, Triplet family. He gave himself as a living sacrifice to save us from sin. And so we have to, when we say we love God, we have to be about his business. That means we got to follow the book. We have to be about the book. And that means the Bible. And then when we say we love one another, let's truly love one another. Don't let's go against one another at all. Let's make sure that we are not going against each other. Let's not say mean things to each other because that's not really being about love. And you know what I'm saying? I'm not only telling you guys that, I'm telling myself that. Sometimes sometimes our words and actions can show that we're not being about love and not being about loving each other. Oh, that's fine, honey. That's fine, baby. So like we have to love one another. Like you said, I know Anita says that all the time. We have to love one another as God loves us, because that's true. When we don't love one another and we just come against each other, then that's not showing true God love, because God is for us. God is for each and every one of us. So if we say we love God, we got to be about his business. We got to treat people right. We got to love each other. We don't have to come against each other. We can have a misunderstanding and just know that we all can have a misunderstanding. That's what I'm saying. but don't hold a grudge. Don't let us be against one another because we all have a different opinion. We all can have a different opinion, but we all should still love each other, no matter if we have a disagreement, or you know what I'm saying, or a disagreement, or um not appreciating what another person is saying. And put it like that. So we have to. So let's just always be about love. Um, like I said, love suffers long and it is kind. So if you love somebody, and when you love someone wholeheartedly, love someone, not for what they can do for you, but love them for who they are. You know what I'm saying? Some people don't know how to love people and accept people for who they are. Some people, when they come into your life, and some people, when they come into your life, you know what I'm saying, they just tell you they love you because they think that's what you want to hear. But I'm not like that. I'm not gonna tell. Don't tell me that you love me unless you mean it, and you're gonna be about them actions, because you can't say you love someone and then you mistreat them. You can't love people and then you mistreat them, and then you can't love someone and then you speaking against them, or you speaking negative about them. That's not love. That is not love. And I wish that, you know what I'm saying, that we all can be in agreement that, love is a strong word to use. Like I said, don't use that word on people, or don't say we love God and we know we not doing thus says the Lord, and we say we love love people, but we always coming against them. That's not love. So what we're going to talk about today is, guys, and once again, thank you guys so much for coming onto the stream. I appreciate you guys for coming. Like I said, I appreciate you guys for coming on the day on Daily Tips with Mona, because I appreciate you guys' support. You don't have to get up in the morning and support me. So I always say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So what we want to talk about today is, yes, it is, Anita. Love is the biggest meaning, a four-letter word. Yes. Some people just think love is a word. Love is a meaning. Love got to have some stuff that goes behind it. Don't just say you love somebody and you know that you're really not in love with them. If you're not in love with them and you just in strong light, just say I'm in strong light, or I care for you. But to grow to love someone, you have to actually get to know them, and you have to know them, and get to know them, and all of them, and see if you're gonna really accept them all unconditionally, all their faults unconditionally. That's what love is to me. The love that like I said, the love that God gives us is all unconditional, flaws and all, sins and all. We have to repent of our sins, but He still loves us in for our flaws, because ain't none of us perfect. So my eye issue. So this is what we want to talk about today, guys. I is tips on being an effective communicator. The first thing is, be concise. Whether you are communicating in person or over an email, keep your message simple and brief. Information that does not have anything to do with your discussion can confuse the person that is listening, and they will lose focus on and stop hearing you. It is important to not mistake being concise with being blunt and abrupt. While your communication should be concise, it should always be friendly. A great way to make sure that your message is not being misunderstood, if you, ask yourself if what you're talking about is useful to the conversation at hand. So be concise. Know what you're talking about. Don't be talking all over the place. Keep the message short and brief. Don't be. Yes. You have to be very, very, very concise, and you have to make yourself friendly when you're communicating with people. You don't want to come off mean or disrespectful or anything like that. So, so what you have to do is you have to stay on the message. You have to be not confusing, and you have to and I, as well, guys. I have learned this too. Sometimes we don't listen to understand. We just listen to respond. So let's not listen. We don't. We Let's not listen to. Let's listen to understand. We have to listen to understand what the next person is saying. We have to listen to understand, because if not, then you're not really listening to what they have to say. You just saying, well, I'm gonna listen to what you have to say, but I'm gonna say what I got to say. And we have to learn how to listen to understand each other and not just be all over the place. Um, um, if you're talking or speaking on a specific topic, you don't want to be discussing and being confusing about what you're saying. And then you don't want to come across like I have been, like, say for instance, I had at work, I work for the I work for I work for the school, and I am a custodian. Now, it is ways to talk to people, but sometimes if your message is ugly or your email is ugly, people get upset about that and not want to do it. If you say, well, if you this is how it's gonna be, and if you don't like it, then you can find other employment. Come on now, don't talk to people like that. We all human. We all are human. We all are human. So don't just talk to people any kind of way. Like, when you're trying to get your communicate with people, you don't have to be all blunt and mean and rude and like whatever the message was. I kind of like I kind of was like, it took me back because it made me angry. Yeah, right, blogs, right. Speak the way you want to be spoken to. Right. So if you don't want to, if don't be, you want to get your point across, or you want to talk about something to someone, don't be coming to them cussing them out. Tell me, this is how we going GDB. I don't give a F. We can't talk like that. I understand we sometimes we cuss. I'm not saying that I don't cuss, because I do. But what I'm saying is, when you want to be effective, then be concise. Know what you're talking about. Keep the message simple and brief. Don't come off as condescending. Make yourself friendly, and make sure that your message is understood. Don't be disrespectful with it, but make sure that your message is coming across as nice and friendly, and you just saying what needs to be said, and it doesn't be misunderstood. Yes, Anita, we have to remember to treat people the way we want to be treated, because if you say, for instance, you don't cuss somebody else, some people today ain't gonna just take you cussing them out. I'm gonna be real. Like, some people is not going to accept you cussing them out. They don't care if you the supervisor or not. I remember an instance at a job. The supervisor came at a worker. So Blog said, I always had the hardest time when I ran my stores because all my district managers want me to be rude to my employees. However, I had the lowest turnover because I respected them. That's what it is. Respect your workers. Respect them to know that they are human too. They are human too. When that uniform go off, when that job closed, I'm gonna be real. When that job closed, that ain't nothing but a job. But when that job closed, you gonna take that uniform off. You still human. And then I remember a lady always told me, I don't know who she thinks she is. I put my drawers on just the same way she put her drawers on. So they basically saying we all are human. It don't make you better than me just because you are a manager or whoever else. If we put our panties and underwear on the same way, we all put our panties and underwear on the same way. So we can't treat nobody no any kind of way because we put our panties and underwear on the same way. Then some people they feel just because they have a higher position that that's the time for me to be rude to you and treat you any kind of way. But let me tell you, some people ain't. Some people, I have to tell you about this. One time, it was this guy and the supervisor. She came at him left. I'm talking about all the way wrong. Told him, I'm your superior. You ain't uh you do what I say do. He was like, well, hold up. If you the superior, then why are you talking the way you? This ain't the way to talk to people. If you my superior, he said, what you doing is you talking down on me. Like I ain't nothing. And I am human just like you, honey. When I take this uniform off and you take it, you can get your whoop just like anybody else. So be concise. Yes, 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 Anita. Yes. Yes, yes. Some people are so disrespectful to us like they are kids. I promise you. Blonde said, and uplift your employees so they can get promoted too. Don't act better because of the position. All my employees were management ready, so didn't think they were good enough. Exactly, exactly. Like it's so many. So when some people has to understand that because they are up doesn't mean they something. Because I was snapped. Don't do it, Dominique. Don't do it. Don't do it. Um, The second thing is be specific. Make sure you put across all the information a person needs. If you have a deadline on something, make sure that you tell a person. If you have an idea about something you would like to see, don't assume the other person knows and will guess. Always make sure you articulate all the information that is needed and make sure it is clear and correctly heard. So be specific about about when you're communicating with somebody. If it's something that you want them to know, be specific. Be specific. Tell a person what you wanting them to know, and not come and not tell them stuff and they don't even understand. You be like, ain't giving them all the information. I like one thing about me. I do not like last minute stuff. I don't. I don't like when people tell me stuff last minute because what if it don't work out? Or you have to rush and try to figure it all out, or they'll give you some of the information, then you got to go find all the rest of the information. I can't stand that. I can't because it's like it puts you in a panic, and then you're gonna miss out on certain details. I can't stand it. Don't tell me something last minute. If you knew this thing right here had to be done, and you gonna give me the information the day of or the day before, expect me to produce something. I'm, I'm like, how can you? How can we? How can we? How can we have something that is worth? I said, just like at a restaurant or something like that, you trying a new product out, and you don't. The product comes out the next in 2 days, I say, but you don't give them the information or nothing until the day before. And you tell them how to cook. I have been in situations like that. Oh, we coming out with a new hamburger. Where the hamburger? Where the stuff for the hamburger? Because you know, oh, it's coming out tomorrow. Well, then we need to learn how to cook the burgers, and then or how to dress the burgers. If we coming out with a new hamburger, but you ain't gonna tell me till the day before. Then I got to figure out how to make this hamburger and make it edible enough for other people's enjoyment. Like people crazy. I just can't stand that. So and then don't be sending out misleading information. Don't give me half 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 excuse my language, half ass information. I mean, no harm, not trying to cuss, but don't give me half ass information. Give me all of it. Don't assume that I know what you're talking about. Don't half ass it. Excuse my language, but don't do that. I can't stand it. Okay, the third thing is um, be pleasant and approachable. Make sure you maintain eye contact, a relaxed body, and a smile. Make sure your tone of voice is not coming off as you not being approachable. Being approachable will make a person who you are talking to more likely to want to help you. It also makes them more likely to ask questions if they need clarity. So be a pleasant and approachable person. Make sure that you keep an eye contact with the person and you have a relaxed body and be able to talk to people and make sure your tone of voice, because sometimes I can come off as being mean. I know I can. I know I can come off as being mean, and then some people, I look. I'm gonna have. I'll try to blog. You done drop the nugget. Well, I'll try my best, and I'll see what I can do or look into that. Yes, it does. If, say for instance, you come in your boss office and they'll be like, "Can we speak to you? Can I?" Yeah, go ahead. They look at you up and down. Like, that's not the correct way to be. Like, you irritated by my presence. Honestly, that's not the correct way to be. If you approach your boss or you approach someone and you want to have a conversation, make sure your body language don't say get up out my face or what do you want now. Like, I have been in situations like that, like, because sometimes I have been in that way. I'm gonna be honest. Somebody comes, I need to have a conversation with you. Go ahead. I have. I'm not gonna lie on myself. I am not gonna lie on myself. If I'm not gonna sit up here and play like, sometimes I'm not approachable because sometimes I don't be in the mood, and then sometimes I just be like, okay, uh-huh, I hear you. So, but we have to be, if we want to be, get our message across or communicate to a person and let them know that what they're saying is not that we can be an approachable person. We have to change that. We have to change our tone of voice. Don't be hollering at people. Don't be trying. Don't be rolling your eyes, being disrespectful to people. Some people look at you, roll their eyes. Yeah, can I help you? Like, what they like? I had went to McDonald's because my kids, they love McDonald's. They love a Happy Meal, and Jada love a Happy Meal, and Jamil loves a 4 for 4. This is what happened to me at a McDonald's one day. Um, what can I get you today? Yes, can I get a I said yes. I'm like, hey, how you doing? Oh, I'm fine. I said, what? I was like, this is not, am I being punked? Oh, I'm fine. What can I help you with today? What you want? I'm like, I said, ma'am, don't even worry about it. I went to another McDonald's. That is fine because you ain't got to. I'm like, don't be that. You don't lost McDonald's a customer. That McDonald's a customer because at the end of the day, look how you wasn't pleasant to the customer. Look, I've had some bad experiences with McDonald's. For some reason, we always get kind of bad customer service in McDonald's. I don't understand. Exactly, Dominique. I do not want to eat. I do not want to eat where I ain't being appreciated. I'm not going to argue with you, ma'am, over intercom. So make sure you're approachable. Make sure you have your tone of voice is not coming off as mean or demeaning or like, like attitude. Like you got a nasty. Good morning, Baker with little Charlene. How are you feeling this morning, baby? You feeling all right? I hope everything with your surgery and everything went well. Um, so I'm glad to see you in the building this morning. Thank you for coming. Um, exactly. You don't want nobody making your food and they have a nasty attitude. I like they really made me upset. Then my kids they crying like, "Mama, why you leaving McDonald's?" I had to let them know you don't have to be treated like that. You paying for the service, not them paying you to service you. So make sure that okay, Anita. Um, so let's make sure that our tone of voice is calm and not condescending. Make sure that we are a approachable person. Make sure that people can come to us and talk to us, and us not be like what you ain't talking about nothing. I don't want to hear what you got to say. Make sure that we are approachable. Make sure that we able to listen to people. People can come to us and have a conversation with us without feeling disrespected or feel like you don't want to hear what you don't want to hear what they got to say. Because if you come off that way, a person is not going to want to come around you, and a person ain't going to want to talk to you either. Well, I pray that that the soreness go away, honey. I pray that the soreness go away. Um, the fourth thing is listening actively. Effective communication knows conversations are a two-way street. Active listening means giving the person you are talking to your undivided attention. It also means giving cues that you are listening by nodding your head and as they make a point. When you hear what they are saying, then you can clarify and put together what they are saying by reciting back to them or asking questions about things you may not understand. So be an active listener. Be listen to, like I said earlier, we all have to learn how to listen to understand. And then if you need to recite back what they saying to get the full understanding, that is fine. But that person know that you're listening to them. Nobody wants, okay, I'm gonna be an example. Nobody wants to be with be in a conversation with somebody and somebody on their phone like this. Yep, yep, yep. That's not actively listening. Like, man, I'm gonna have to learn to be an active listener as well. I have to learn how to be an active, because me sometimes I listen, but I'm gonna respond, and I'm like I'm gonna respond back, but because I'm have to be better at getting the last, like me. This is even in an argument or in a relationship argument or whatever. I'm always the type of person I listen, but I'm always I got to get that last word in. I don't know. That's just how I am. Good morning to McRae Kingz. Welcome. Thank you for coming this morning. Hope y'all slept well last night. But what we have to do, we have to listen to understand and see what the next person is saying, so you can understand where they're coming from. This is actually saying. Be an active listener. Me, I have to do better at listening. I have to do better at listening and not trying to respond, but look at what the next person is saying. Like that's my thing. That's my thing. I have to respond instead of, and you know what I'm saying? And then we have to learn also, you know what I'm saying, to not be offended if someone comes to us and say certain things. We have to learn how to not be offended, because I'll get offended and we'll get all upset and we'll get the flying off the handle, cussing each other out. And it don't have to be that way. We all listen, be an active listener. That means listen to them and let them get their point across. And then um And then after we listen to them get that point across, then you just, if you need to take a few minutes to process what they're saying or repeat back what they're saying, then that is fine. But we all got to do that, because I got to do that. I sometimes don't listen to understand. I just listen so I can respond. And that's just honest. That's just me. And I got to do better at that. I can own minds. We have to hold ourselves accountable. And I can own minds. And so I know I have to be a more active listener, not just listen to respond, and just see what another person's perspective is, instead of just, listening, but you really ain't bothered about what they talking about. So it's going one ear and not the other. But you may be missing out on some good tips or some good some things that could actually help you. But if you have to be open minded about it. You have to be an open minded listener too. So make sure that we are listening to each other to and understand that, and make sure you're clarifying it. You're getting a clarity in getting an understanding of what they are trying to say. Don't try to be don't we have to learn not to automatically just think negative, because if we think negative, we're not going to be approachable, and then we ain't listening. Like, if someone comes to you and say, like me, I'm open to criticism. I am open to criticism because I want to be better. So if someone, good morning, Pennis Habit, how you doing? Morning. I am open to constructive criticism. Some people, I feel like, if you don't know it all, you have to be open to constructive criticism. I'm gonna be real. That's fine, Pennis, baby. Thank you for coming so much. I appreciate, I always appreciate your support, guys. Y'all, Pennis do have a join button. Um, if you want to join Pennis channel, I think to join is like $1.99 in US dollars. So if you want to join Pennis channel, go ahead and join Pennis channel. She has a join button, and I so glad, Pennis, that you have your join button. But yeah, like, we have to yes, like me, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you if I ask you, I was like, how can I do this better? And you be like, well, Monica, you're good, but you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you don't have the passion. Sometimes you don't bring that fire that you need to bring. You have to bring it every day. So um I was like, you know what? You're right. Because sometimes I don't feel like doing certain things, and I don't want to be passionate about certain things. But if I want to be I want to be successful at something, I got to bring the passion, every day. So let's make sure that, you know what I'm saying, we listen actively, and let's be able to open our mind to constructive criticism, because, you know what I'm saying, constructive criticism can help for each and every one of us. No one is perfect, and no one knows everything. If you do, then you must be God. I'm sorry to say it, but don't nobody know everything. I'm sorry. It's a lot of stuff we don't know in this world. But if we be open minded and be an active listener, we can um we can be more successful. Honestly. Honestly, honestly. Um the fifth thing is, enter conversation with a clear mind. Before before you even open your mouth or put your fingers on the keyboard, make sure you know what it is you wish you want to say. And make sure you are expressing it in an appropriate manner. This means using words, tones, and questions that would not rattle you and not make the other person feel awkward or disrespected. So, um, when you having a conversation with someone, or you feel like you need to have a conversation with someone, guys, let's make sure we enter the conversation with a clear mind. Make sure we enter the conversation with, like, we got all minds, like they say, all minds are clear. That means your mind is clear. You're gonna say what you have to say. I'm not gonna disrespect nobody. I'm gonna use my words to not offend anybody, but I'm just gonna use my word to get the message across in a nice way. Sometimes the way we put things can sometimes be perceived as ugly. And I'm not talking about, I said we because I do it too. Sometimes the words we choose to say can come off as ugly. And instead of just saying the ugly things that we said, we should have said, we could have approached it we could have said something in a different way. And then our tone of voice, make sure that we're not being, um, with our tone of voice, like we're not coming off as aggressive towards people. And ask questions that don't rattle, get someone out of character, and makes people feel disrespected or feel awkward or don't want to have a conversation with you because look how you talking to me. Some people will say that. You sit here and come at somebody left or come at somebody crazy, they be like, you know what? Uh I don't even want to have this conversation because of the simple fact that, you know what I'm saying, we're not getting the message across in a nice way. You just saying what you got to say, and you being rude, you being disrespectful, and I don't want to hear it. And then everything done went haywire. So before you open your mouth, make sure your mind is clear, and make sure that you're expressing yourself in an appropriate manner. You don't have to disrespect no one to get your message across. You don't have to make anyone upset to get your message across. What we need to do is we have to come and talk to people in a nice manner. And that means using your words carefully, having a great tone of voice, and just be approachable. And know that, that people do have disagreements, but we don't have to, we can respect each other's opinions. That's, I must put it like that. We can respect each other's opinions and not be, um and not disrespect each other. That's what I'm gonna put it. Um, I thank you guys once again. This is all the tips that I have for today, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and recap. Okay, so what we talked about today, guys, is tips on being an effective communicator. First thing is be concise. When you are wanting to communicate with someone, guys, make sure that it is simple and brief. Don't be all over the place. Don't just be talking about God knows whatever. Just be concise, get that message out, and if a person has a question about it, make sure that you're answering the question. Two, be specific. Give details on what you wanting to say. Be specific. Don't leave the person out to the water to drown. Be specific. Um, don't always expect a person knows what you're talking about. If you have to give them information, give them that information. It's not going to kill you. The third thing is be pleasant and approachable. Make sure that you are being an approachable person. Make sure that people are able to approach you and not come off as you not being, like, being mean or like you don't care what they talk about because you know what you're talking about. So be pleasant and approachable. Be uh Make sure that your tone of voice is not coming off as being mean. Um, Four, listen actively. Listen actively. Um, let's be active listeners. Um, that means, actually listening to a person to get an understanding instead of like me, I listen to respond instead of listening to respond, listen to understand. So you both can get an understanding on what you're both talking about, but be a active listener. No, I have not have tips for depression, but I can do it for you tomorrow, Pennis. I can help you. I'll do that tomorrow. If you want me to do that, I'll be more than happy to do tips on being depressed. I know a lot of people have dealt with that. I have as well. Thank you, Pennis. We will deal with tomorrow. We will be talking about how to deal with your depression. About your situation in life. Oh, okay, no problem. You know what I'm saying. I'm open to whatever. It's all about what you guys want to hear about. Sometimes it could just, what I'm saying. Sometimes, like I said, sometimes you guys inspire a topic, and Penis, you just inspired a topic because it's a lot of people in this world that deal with depression and be depressed and take medicine for depression. So tomorrow, guys, I am going to be talking about dealing with depression. I'm gonna give tips on dealing with depression. So that will be the tips on tomorrow. It may be an hour long premiere. I don't know how long it's gonna be, but we're going. I'm sorry, Blas. That okay. Bacon with Charlene. Get you some rest, and you know what I'm saying. If you need anything or you need anything, to email me or inbox me on IG. Okay, well, Blas, I'm sorry to hear that your that Nick suffers from depression. Tell him to make sure he listen in the morning. We're gonna have some tips on that, and we're gonna inspire him, and we're gonna make him feel all right. Yeah, because one of our wants to because Pennis wanted to ask about she wanted to know about the tips on depression. So, why not give the people what they want? If someone suggests something, I always try to just talk about it because that's what the people want to hear. And we always want to, help our people. Okay. So the last thing is enter the conversation with a clear mind. Before you even open your mouth or put your fingers on the keyboard, make sure you are uh, entering the conversation with a clear mind. Make sure you are expressing yourself in an appropriate manner. Don't be coming at people wrong. Make sure your tone of voice, your words, and things like that are not disrespectful. So, guys, these are the daily tips with Monica. Today, we talked about being an effective communicator. Um, so, so I hope you guys got something out of that. I appreciate you guys for coming. I do have a couple of announcements. I know that this Friday, I think it's Thursday. This weekend, well, this end of this week, Wonston and Leo's anniversary is coming up, and they will be live on Wonston channel on Thursday, and they'll be live on Leo channel on Friday. So, guys, look forward to coming and helping Wonston and Leo celebrate their anniversary. Uh, Thank you, blogs. As well, guys. Like we at the end, I think Tramel and Joseph will be celebrating theirs at the end of this month. And I will be doing a book review. If you have not read that book yet, you need to get it and read it. It's called Don't Let God Smell Your Panties. It's by Tracy Allen. Make sure that you get that book because on June 31st, I will be coming to you guys live and I will be doing a review on the book. So make sure that we are looking forward to those things. We have a couple more announcements, but I'm for some reason I don't went blank on them. But I hope I'm not missing anything. Shout out to the TBT squad, guys. That is it's Big Weinstein, it's Honey, the McRae Kingz, yo, it's your boy Leo, and let's talk about it with Anita. Um, we appreciate, like I said, I appreciate each and every one of you guys. I appreciate the TBT squad. Um, no matter, we just, whew, we just all have to have a good Sunday today. Let's make sure we have a good Sunday today, and let's make sure that we are being good towards one another and loving on each other. Because sometimes we all can have misunderstandings, and we'll hold a grudge. So it's instead of be holding a grudge, it's just open our heart to love and learn how to love one another the correct way. Um, I am coming out with a premiere tomorrow. So tomorrow, Monday through Fridays, I do my premieres, and then on Saturdays and Sundays I do my live stream. I'm gonna try my best to come out with a video of mukbang um today with my children. So look forward to the mukbangs. And as well, guys, we are doing a panel. If you want, the panel will be held on my channel. I think it's going to be the third week in July. No, the third or the fourth week in July. I forgot the date. I think July the Well, I'll get back with you on the day, but I think the day is, let me look. I think the 24th, July the 24th, the TBT squad will be hosting a panel. If you guys on my platform, if you guys want us to, if you have a suggestion, email one of the TBT squads on the suggestion on if it's something that you want us to talk about. Um, I'm open to different topics, and I'm open to listening to the people, and seeing what they wanting to talk about. Okay, ASMR Dominique. So if you want us to discuss a specific topic, or you want to know about a specific thing, then email me at mjjfamily2020@gmail.com, and the TBT or anyone on the TBT squad, and we'll choose. I know we're going to have to speak about two different topics. So if you have something that we want to speak about, make sure that you it's a topic that you want us to speak about. Make sure you email us. That's what I'm trying to say. Um, as well, guys, if you, like I said, MJJ 2020 is a great way. MJJ Family 2020 is a great way of contacting me if you want to know, contact me about anything or speak with me about something. You can always connect with me on Instagram. Um, and well, guys, I'm going to, if you want to just decide you want to bless the channel, you can cash app at me at jmom18. So I appreciate you guys so much for coming. I am a little bit leaving a little bit early, but hey, it's okay. We still got things coming up. So what we're gonna do now, guys, is um oh no, it ain't my bad. I was typing fast. There it is. There you go, right there. It's mjjfamily2020@gmail.com. I will be seeing you guys in the YouTube streets. Make sure you're having a happy Sunday. Make sure that we keep a positive mindset, and we don't let anyone or anything steal our joy, because they did not give it to you. Thank you, Joseph. Um, I'm gonna leave you guys with a uh, a quote, like I always do. It says, hold yourself responsible for a higher standard than anyone else expects of you. Never excuse yourself. And this was spoken by Henry Ward Beecher. So, thank you guys for coming. What we're going to do now, guys, I hope Winston is live or he's been getting ready to be live. Let me see. Winston, you ready? All right, guys. So, um, what we're going to do now, guys, we're going to go to It's Me Winston, Yes Honey channel, and we're going to see about the positive things that he has to speak about today. So make sure you guys, make sure if you have not subscribed to me, hit that subscribe button. If you make sure you're liking this video, and I'll see y'all in the morning. Have a blessed Sunday.